Hey, what's up guys? Sean here. So this weekend we are on an adventure at a whole new location. This is kind of a top secret location. We were invited out to camp this weekend, do a little overlanding with Jackalopes Travel. Now, he asked me to not burn the location. Don't kind of blow the location up and let everybody know where it's at. So I'm not going to do that. This one is just going to have to be a top secret location. So it is what it is. But we have beaten everybody here. He's going to be coming with somebody, and there's a few other people coming, but I've beaten everybody here, and I just barely beat the rain. So, but I got to get this firewood unloaded and covered up so it doesn't get rained on, and I got to get everything out of here so I can get all my stuff set up. So we are on a new adventure. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Let's get it. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a cool little spot here. Got the fire ring over here. It's got some little benches around it. It has the little picnic table here. Really cool little setup. But the mosquitoes, whoo, the mosquitoes are bad here. I did bring some tiki torches with citronella. So this weekend, we gave the patrons, the Wild Bunch, gave them the option to pick what kind of camp we're gonna set up. And they decided that they wanted me to do a overlanding camp with the hammock hitch mount on the back of the Jeep. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get that set up here pretty quick. And I'm going to set those tiki torches up and get those things going pretty good because these mosquitoes are bad. That pretty quick. Hopefully once we get a fire going out here and everything, the mosquitoes will ease up a little bit, get a little smoke going out here, maybe it'll run them off a little bit, but pretty thick right now. all we can do is wait and hope, right? Alright, so before any more rain comes, it says it's supposed to continue to rain on and off until about 7. It's about 4:30 now. Believe it or not, I mean, it looks dark, but it's about 4:30 now. So we're going to go ahead and get this tarp set up. Just in case it does rain, we can get up under it and hide. But I had somebody that asked me a while back to do a little more in-depth video on how we set everything up with the overlanding thing and the hitch-mounted hammock. So we're going to go about that today. It's actually pretty simple. It just, you know, there's a few steps, but everything is actually fairly inexpensive. So this is a Calnico 10 by 15 tarp. I'll go ahead and try to put a link in the description for everything except for the hitch-mounted hammock thing. I built that, you guys saw that, so no link for that. But we're going to go ahead and get this tarp set up, and then we'll go ahead and get everything else set up. We'll kind of go through it step by step. Now there's a couple different ways to set this thing up. If I'm going to be camping inside the Jeep or on the back of it with Sarah inside the vehicle, I'm going to go right in front of either the back window, or depending on how warm it is, maybe all the way to the front windshield, so we can open the sunroof and still be covered. We have a bag right over there that has all the window netting in it, so if we needed to, we could roll all these windows down and put netting over them. Now we're not going to do that this weekend. We're going to be camping off the back up, not going to need that, but that is an option. So if we're going to do that, we will pull it at least to the back of the front door. That way you can open the side windows up and get some airflow through there. It really helps out a lot. So today though, since we're going to be camping off the back of it, we're not going to need to be in and out of sleeping inside the thing. We're not going to worry about that. So next up, we just got to stake this thing out. Now for staking, I just got these great big hook stakes from Walmart. I don't remember, they were only a couple bucks a piece or something like that. They're very heavy duty and they hold pretty dang good out here. And so what we'll do next is try to evenly get this tarp across here, stake it out, and then move to the back. Well, second verse, same as the first. Next up, I went ahead and closed the hatch so we can grab that tarp, pull it on around, get it extended back, and then we'll get it staked out. I've got the poles. I'll show you those. Really simple setup. It looks a little more difficult than it really is. So let's go ahead and get this thing finished setting up so we can get up under it and maybe get some of these mosquitoes off of us. Yes, I know, bug spray, I know. But you know me, I'm trying to avoid the bug spray if I can help it. But I know that's the smart thing to do. Alright. Now, these poles, as I've mentioned before, they're just simple painter's poles from Harbor Freight. I think they're about 12 bucks a piece. And they're really nice because they're good and sturdy. They're fiberglass. And they extend up and lock. And they're really strong. So that's what holds out both of our back corners. I do want to get 2 more to go out on either front side there in case I want to raise it up a little bit. And I would like to get 1 more to go in the center after we go camping with Sarah and stuff like that, and we end up with that back hatch closed down when she's asleep. It kind of lets it sag a little bit. We kind of talk about that at the Georgia Bushcraft camp out, so if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up here and you can go check that out. But next, let's go ahead and get this thing set up because it's starting to rain again. Now, I'll kind of pull it tight, and that pulls that slack from that other corner. Now, if you aren't careful, these loops on this tarp will try to slip past this. So what I like to do, I'll take that, turn it over, make 1 little turn in it, and when you do that, it pulls it down tight enough that that thing's not going to slip past that, and it's not going to get down in there. Next up, get it about where you want it, pull it back tight, put your stake in. Really simple. And there you have it. So that's pretty well set up for the tarp and everything. I'll show you the hammock hitch mount thing set up here in just a few minutes. It's actually pretty simple. Takes 2 seconds to set up. But first, I think I'm going to go ahead and set my chair up and make me a little mixed drink. Get off of there, mosquito. All right, so it is officially chill o'clock. So I am ready to just chill. So that's where we're at. This is that bottle of Jim Beam Devil's Cut, and I've had this bottle for a while. It's not my favorite, so I figured this weekend maybe I'd try to kill it off. Believe it or not, I actually do prefer my Evan Williams over this Devil's Cut. So maybe I'm just a cheapskate and I like cheap whiskey, but that's just my deal. I prefer the Evan Williams over that Devil's Cut. So I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to put on some bug spray, bad as I hate to. They are just horrible. I have made a big mistake, to be honest with you. The hammock that I've got doesn't have a bug net on it. So it might be a long night. Unfortunately, that's what this setup is for, my shorter hammock. I don't have the pins and everything put in yet to run my bigger hammock. That's my own fault. So we will deal. That's all we can do. Now the reason it's set up that way is because I was expecting to be camping in the winter time, so really shouldn't be needing a bug net too much. But here in Florida, we get winter time sporadically throughout the winter, so hopefully it'll cool off tonight enough to make the mosquitoes go bed up somewhere and leave me alone. It should be dropping down into the 50s tonight, so who knows. But that's what happens sometimes. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance, is what they say. And I should have brought my other hammock just in case. I could have set up out here. Or I need to get me a bug net to go on this hammock. No, I need to just get my pins put in there so I can use my other hammock on this setup. That's the right thing to do. Well, I tried to do a live from camp, but it didn't really work out. So now I think I'm gonna make some fat wood shavings, and start getting stuff together to get the campfire going. David with Jackalopes Travel should be coming. He's bringing some people with him, so I want to try to get a good campfire going before they get here. So we're going to go ahead and shave up some fat lighter shavings, try to get us a fire going. And there comes the rain again, so no bushcraft tonight, just a good old trusty Bic lighter. Try to get this fat lighter going. I've got a couple other bigger pieces of fat lighter. These are bigger pieces of wood. I do have some smaller stuff here, but it's kind of green. So I've got some bigger pieces of fat lighter to help this thing get rolling, hopefully. Alright, so that worked out pretty slick. I had a couple of bigger pieces of fat lighter, and because it's raining and because this wood that I've got is like good sized chunks of wood, I didn't really gather up a bunch of small stuff today. I went ahead and got the fat lighter going, and then I got that bigger chunk of fat lighter going, put that in the center of it, and the heat it's creating is getting the rest of that fire going. So I've got more fat lighter in my bundle that I brought with me. Plus, I know how to find fat lighter, and I'm 100% sure that with these pines around here, there's more fat lighter to be found. So I don't worry too much about that. But tonight, I wanted to make sure I had a good fire going when they got here. So that's kind of why I did that. I know it's a little wasteful. If I'd have done a little more preparation, I wouldn't have had to waste that, but I'm not worried so much about it. I think it's going to be just fine. Now, I've got a steak that I want to cook for dinner tonight, but it's going to be a little while before those coals and everything gets burned down enough that I won't ruin my steak with the soot from that fat lighter and everything. And I'm going to have to get those coals burned down a little bit so I don't burn the steak all up. But all right, it looks like we got some folks coming in. Alright, so as you can see, our hosts have made it. They traveled a good long distance and got here kind of set up in the dark, so not going to bother them right now. Let them get their stuff taken care of, and maybe we'll meet them in the morning. I think I'm going to just sit here and enjoy my drink and relax.
Oh, if you want ketchup and mustard there in the bag.
Well guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I had a heck of a time trying to get this fire going. If it wasn't for David with his dry wood that he brought, I probably wouldn't have any coals to cook on tonight. The wood that I brought was so wet still, it just couldn't get it going. So thank goodness David brought some dry stuff, because now I got coals to cook on. It's been a while. We've been sitting around here talking and stuff, waiting on these coals to build up, and I'm ready to eat. So got me a little steak to cook. I got a good deal on some of these steaks. They were mislabeled as like pork chops or something like that, and I can't remember. I got like 3 of these ribeyes for like $5 or $6.
Only problem is,
all right guys, we got her all cooked up, a little overcooked, but it's still got some pink to it. Should be pretty dang good though. It's nice and tender. All right guys, so we have been sitting around the campfire talking and chatting for hours now. It is after midnight. My steak turned out really good. It was so good that I didn't even get any footage of me eating it. But we have had a great time just sitting around here chatting. This is my first time actually meeting David in person, Jackalopes Travel. And a really nice guy. I've enjoyed sitting around talking with him and his daughter. And I think we've got some more people coming in tomorrow, which should be pretty cool. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am ready for some sleep now. It's, like I said, it's after midnight. And it has finally started to rain. It's kind of seems like it's setting in a little bit. But it's kind of light right now. So I'm going to lay back in this hammock and I'm going to enjoy that rain on the tarp, and I'm going to crash out. I will see you guys in the morning. Man, good morning. That is not the best night of sleep I've ever had. Oh man. It's time to get up and get some coffee for sure.
I make my coffee with every day of my life.
I've got one, or I've got two of them, I think, and I love those things.
I have
that.
One's in the box. I've never even opened it because this one has lasted for about
Yeah.
8 or 9
Oh yeah, I used to use mine all the time, but now I got these Cafe Bustelos.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I use all the time now is the Cafe Bustelo. But I used to always use that little GSI, what is it, the Java Drip or something like that it's called?
It's one of those things that just are well made.
Yeah, thing lasts forever, and you don't have to worry about having a filter or anything. Coffee.
When COVID came around, I bought a spare one just in case I had it.
Well, I think it's about time for us to make some breakfast. I have got this morning some of these Nettles, Grandpa's old time hot smoked sausages. So I'm gonna try these things out today. I think I'm gonna just take one of them and split it, cut it in half and fry it and see how it does. Now, when we were at Georgia Bushcraft, we stopped by the, I think it's called Everything Survival booth or whatever, and we found these folding plates and cups and stuff like that. So I brought one this weekend, and it actually worked good last night for my steak. I cut my steak up on it and everything. It doesn't have a bunch of deep cuts or anything in it, so pretty happy with that thing. And they don't take up any room, which is nice. Alright, let's slice this thing. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make 2 of these sausages. That way, if somebody else wants some, they can have some. Or later in the day, if I want some sausage, I can just nibble on it as I go.
Maybe I did and don't remember it.
Here I am over here cooking some sausages up, thinking I'm making a breakfast. David and his daughter over there making Denver omelets. They're a little more advanced than I am. That's cool though. I love omelets, but I don't have the skills to do it out here like they do. I can tell you that. I'll make it through these sausages if I don't burn them. So that's why a lot of times I'll eat just oatmeal out here, because it's hard to mess up the oatmeal. So. There we go. Look at that. Oh yeah. Really, really good. A little bit spicy, but not too bad. Had to go ahead and come out of that hoodie. It got too hot already for hoodie weather, which I really didn't need the hoodie last night at all. I just needed it to kind of help keep the bugs off of me. One thing that I did do is I remembered in my get home bag I had a head bug net, and that worked out pretty good. That really helped out, so I'm glad I had that. They weren't terrible, but it was just enough to kind of bug you. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. So I went ahead and got done eating my breakfast, or eating my sausages and everything, but I worked out a pretty good deal. I traded David and his daughter some sausages in exchange for an omelet. So they're making me an omelet. That's going to be good. I look forward to that. So pretty good trade, I think. I got the easier end of that deal. I was right. Look at this. That was a heck of a trade, huh? A few sausages for a Denver omelet. Look at that thing. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna be stuffed here in a few minutes, I can tell you. Sausage and, or was that ham? Ham and onions and peppers, cheese. Good too. Alright guys, so been sitting here carving a little bit, and I carved this little snowman head. How cool is that? Pretty neat. I think it turned out pretty cool. Maybe the nose is a little bit too big, but I'm pretty happy with it so far. Well, David and his daughter decided they wanted to do some forest road riding. They invited me to go with them, but I didn't sleep good last night, and I think I'm gonna just take this opportunity to kick back here in the hammock and rest a little bit, try to get a little more sleep. I know it isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kick back here, try to catch me some Z's, and just relax for a little while. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. Man, I took a good almost 2-hour nap, and I feel a lot better. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, just couldn't get good and comfortable, and I don't think I got more than about 3 or 4 hours sleep maybe. So I took that nap, and now I feel a lot better. got some breeze blowing in there, and the mosquitoes weren't bad, so I was good and comfortable. So but I think tonight I'm gonna just douse myself with some bug spray, bad as I hate to, and try to get some sleep. So I think part of the problem last night is I was having to stay covered up, and because of the bugs, and in turn I was just a little too hot and uncomfortable. So I think I'll remedy that tonight, and first thing I want to do when I get home is fix that hammock setup where I can use my bigger hammock. So no big deal, made it. We're gonna make it through it, no problem. I got some pork steaks, big, nice, good marinated pork steaks. I've been marinating for 2 days, and they should be really good. And so I've got those coals are pretty low over there. They're not super hot, but that oak is real smoky, and so I'm gonna just smoke those things for a little while right there over those coals, and that should make for a really good dinner. I'll kind of cook them real slow, and we'll look forward to that for dinner. Should be really good. I don't know how long it's going to be till David and them get here, and I know he's supposed to be bringing his buddy with him when he comes, so hopefully I can go ahead and get my stuff done and get some coals built up for them and get out of the way so they can do what they need to do to cook. So right now I think I'm going to just go ahead and make me a mixed drink. It's 4, and go ahead and go make me a mixed drink, and I'm gonna eat some beef jerky while I'm letting that stuff cook. Haven't had anything for lunch or anything since breakfast, but I had a huge breakfast, so I've been pretty good all day. Now I'm getting a little munchy. So, and carved that little snowman earlier, and I gave it to David's daughter, so I kind of sat out here and I've started carving on another one, just to kind of kill some time, do something. And so we've got a project to do, let that cook and just chill. That's what this weekend has been about, just kicking back and chilling, and sometimes that's the best. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I got my mixed drink. I want to show you guys something. David gave me one of his Jackalopes travel stickers. Look how cool this thing is. His daughter drew and colored this thing a few years ago for him, and they had it made into stickers. I think that is really, really cool. That's a great idea, and it's just such a cool looking little sticker. So I was thinking it might go perfect right on the back of the cup right there. So that's what we're gonna do. Get this thing just right. Like that. Awesome. Very, very cool. Haha, got it. Thanks, Dave. Jackalopes Travels on YouTube. Go check his channel out. Leave him a comment. Let him know that I sent you over there.
Barbed wire on top, and at least 60 corpses motionless in the street. Well, in that case, we need to be careful so we don't spook him. Ruben.
Alright, so I made a little error carving this little guy. The hat got a little wonky. It looked like it was sitting on top. It didn't look like it was sitting right on his head, so I actually removed the hat from the snowman, and I took my spoon, my hook knife, and carved it out a little bit and dished it, so it'll actually set a little more like it should. And I took my knife and drilled 2 holes in it. Now I got a little peg. You can put a little peg down in it. And now I can put the hat back on him and kind of position it where I want it. I could put some glue on it or something if I wanted to, but it's not really that big a deal. But turned out pretty neat. At least it fixed it. Well, David brought some folks back with him. I'm sitting right here beside Kevin from Overland, Florida, right?
Yep.
And Ron over there with Campfire Grub. So very cool. Ron's over there cooking, and me and Kevin's been sitting here talking about overlanding stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. Finally got my pork chops done, and or pork steaks, I should say. And I sat here running my mouth so much that I kind of got them a little darkish. But I think they're still edible. So go ahead and get these things cut up, see how we did. And if they're not too bad, we'll share them out. Well guys, I had an awesome trip. Today was pretty cool. Got to meet Kevin from Overland, Florida, and Ron from Campfire Grub. Hang out around the fire with them, enjoy a good dinner, and just kind of talk, share some stories. It was pretty awesome, and Jackalopes Travel could not have been a better host. I really appreciate getting invited out here. It was a great trip. Now my stomach is full, and I'm ready for some sleep, so I'm gonna see you guys in the morning. Coffee. Well, good morning. I actually had a great night last night. I slept great last night, and woke up this morning about 6, laid in my hammock till about 6:30 or so, just kind of chilling there, and I felt rested. I feel good this morning, which is nice. Much better than yesterday morning. When I woke up yesterday morning, I felt kind of rough, but it's been a great trip. I've had a lot of fun. I've done a lot of just relaxing. I know this hasn't been like a super exciting video, but man, it has been relaxing. It really has. I had a lot of good food, met some cool people. It was really neat to finally meet David with Jackalopes Travel. We've talked a lot online, and we've kind of been joking back and forth about doing a little video now. David doesn't put himself in his videos most of the time, so that's why you don't see him in this video. It's sort of a Wilson experience from what was that, Home Improvement. But yeah, it's been nice to kind of put a face to it and meet him in person, and then meeting Kevin from Overland, Florida, and Ron with Campfire Grub. It's been cool.
Like, I thought this was your coffee pot. Like, I was staring at it and you were like, oh, what's my coffee pot? And then you ran away. I was like, briefly confused, but like, I guess I need it.
I was just gonna make me some oatmeal this morning. I had one little piece of sausage left, and I figured, why haul it back home when I could just go ahead and eat it. So we're gonna have another little bit of sausage this morning. We're not really in a big hurry to get out of here, so which is cool. I can kind of just lazily get my stuff together this morning, but why not have a good breakfast this morning? I gotta tell you, I really enjoy this nettle sausage. This is the like Grandpa's hot sausage or something like that. It's not the regular nettle sausage, it's a little bit different. It's really good though. I'm enjoying it. Kind of spicy, really good.
Is that your way of saying, yeah, you kind of do, but... No, I mean... You also work...
So I'm just getting ready to pack this thing up, and it dawned on me that I told you I would show you the whole hammock setup, and all I ever really did was explain the tarp. So the actual hitch mount hammock setup, if you're interested in that, you can watch the whole build video and everything on that. I'll link it up here, and that kind of shows you how it all goes together. It's really simple. It takes 2 seconds to put together. It's nothing. It's very simple. The hammock that I use for this system is this Kijaro little hammock from, it's an ultralight hammock from Walmart, and it's perfect for this setup. And as you can see, it doesn't take up any room. Now I did build this setup where I could use my bigger hammock. I just need to drill those holes and put pins in it, but other than that, I could use a bigger hammock, which would have been nice this weekend with the bug net. But for an underquilt, when it gets cold, I use this One Wind underquilt, and I'm trying to remember if this is I believe this is the 50-degree underquilt, if I'm not mistaken. But it has done fine for me, and I've used it all the way down to 30 degrees, but I do sleep warm. And I've been happy with this thing. It's not the smallest form factor. As you can see, it's kind of bulky, but for this system, it's really simple, and I also use it in my backpack, so I make do. This is just some little cheap bag that I got, but inside this is my Jacks Are Better Hudson River top quilt. It's kind of a combo top quilt, under quilt. I do have the suspension system for it, but it's a down top quilt. And this thing doesn't weigh anything. It packs down super light. And this is a 20-degree bag. I won this thing at HangCon. And I've loved this thing ever since I've got it. And that's basically the setup that I've been using on this. And I hope that explains it a little more to you. I know there was a couple people that had asked me to explain it. So that's it basically. It's a really simple setup. You could build one too. So I've enjoyed this hammock setup with my tarp. That tarp is the Calnico 10 by 15, like I said. Very inexpensive, like 25 bucks. And those painter poles, other than that, I bet I've only got a few $100s total in this whole setup. So it's been nice. It works great. Now it's time to get all packed up and ready to go. Well, as you can see, we're all packed up and ready to go. Didn't pack my chair up because I'm still going to hang out with these guys for a little while, but pretty easy setup. I have noticed though that I have some form and function here. Works out cool, but I don't have the cool factor like Kevin and Ron's setups, so maybe we need to work on that in the future. But everything worked out really good this weekend. Had a great time. Well, Dave, I appreciate you inviting me, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Had a great time out here. Hopefully we can do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're all packed up. We've said our goodbyes. I really had a great time this weekend. I really appreciate David for inviting me out. So if you guys haven't, go check out Jackalopes Travels and give him a subscribe and watch some of his videos. He's got some really cool stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it that big thumbs up for me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next week.